So you know how to add three-digit numbers, but now it's time to take that lesson on adding three-digit numbers and really think about it and get it deeply ingrained in your brain. So we're going to do this part of the prep, which is internalizing the lesson. The first thing is to watch the video. So let's say you're in the website. Right now you're accessing the sample lessons. You will click on sample lesson, whatever you want to look at, and you will pull up sample lesson. Right? There is the video to watch and solve, and you can be taking notes as you watch that video about what you think the big idea is and what steps the student is. So two things kind of there, the conceptual understanding, the procedural. Down below later are other pieces of the lesson that you're going to need that are great to solve and work through so that you have the answer keys, but also so that you really see where you're headed. You will need to sign into Edulastic. I believe there are two ways to sign in. You can go to your Okta, press Edulastic. That might take you to a password that's saved and you can sign in. Or you can just sign in with Google there. I happen to have my password saved. You want to have this open before you go ahead and click on these buttons, because then when you click on these buttons, it takes you straight to the practice there. Later in another session, we'll teach you how to assign this and open it for kids. But this is the practice, and so you can just view as a student and work out the problems on scratch paper. This is when you can start to use this part of the document we gave you, where you start to write out what you want to say. Today we're going to learn and ask a question about it. We're going to practice writing these turn talks a lot, but it doesn't hurt for you to start to anticipate what questions you think you might ask and script out what you think they might answer. We want to write out the steps, right? And start to think about where kids are going to go wrong on those steps so we know where we think these errors are going to be. So this is really, once you've watched that video and completed some of the practice, is when you start to fill this in. And just so you know, these steps are really why we have weekly contenting meetings. This is the very hard work of going from seeing a lesson and kind of understanding it to really understanding what the key turn and talks are. So don't put too much pressure on yourself for this. I just want to make sure you understand where to find that material.